The definition of value is the lightness or darkness of a color. A shade is a color that has black added to it to make it darker. This is an example of a shade scale. Today that's what we're going to be doing. To make a shade scale, you need the color and you need just a little bit of black. And I started out by painting the first square in the color without mixing anything with it. Now I take just a little bit of black and I mix it with the color. Black makes a big effect even though there's only a little bit of color there that you're putting in, because black is a really powerful, strong color. And so you want to do just a little bit at a time. And you want to keep mixing it until you don't see any streaks, but you want to keep it all in a small area like I'm doing instead of painting the whole plate or the whole palette, because you want it to stay wet so that you can keep mixing colors in. For my second square, I want just a little bit of change. I want to be able to see that there is a change, but I don't want there to be very much of a change. And so now I'm painting this square, and remember, when you're painting something that needs straight edges or firm edges, it's best to hold your brush like a pencil and to lean your hand on the table to steady your hand and to take your time. And if you do that, you'll have a lot less trouble. I've seen people try to paint these and they're holding the brush up in the air and it's just going all over the place and they're having a heck of a time controlling it. So this really helps with control. Now I'm making my second shade of black. I'm adding just a little bit of black again. You only add a little bit at a time because it wouldn't take very long at all or very much black at all to just totally overpower the orange. And you keep mixing until you don't see any streaks because you want it to be a uniform color throughout. Black can be used like this when you're painting a picture to make some areas darker, like if you're shading something of that color, like say I had an orange ball or something and I wanted to make it look three-dimensional, so part of it had to be darker, I could use black and it would work. You don't always want to use black for this though. There are other colors you can use, and sometimes black just overpowers things, so you have to kind of use your judgment. But here's my second shade of orange. I'm going to speed the film up a little bit so that you see the whole process in a shorter amount of time. So this is my third shade of orange. Okay, now I add a little bit more black. Remember, just a little bit at a time. The more shades you can get of orange, the better you are at it. So I keep mixing it until I don't see any streaks. And this one's a whole lot darker than the orange that I actually started with. If I do a shade scale with blue, you're not going to be able to see the difference as much because blue is already a dark color. If I do it with yellow, you'll be able to see it right away, but it'll make the yellow look really dirty. Okay, now we're going to fly into warp speed and we're going to go as fast as we possibly can. Now you don't need to work this fast, and I'm not really working this fast. That's one of the wonderful things about technology. I can use my computer to speed it up when I edit my movies. So I just keep adding more black and painting the next square, and adding more black and painting the next square, until my values or my shades of orange get down to the point where you can't tell that it was orange anymore. It's just more like a black or really dark brown. So now that you've seen me go through this whole demonstration, I want you to choose a color and put it on your palette. It doesn't have to be any bigger than maybe the size of a quarter. We have to watch how much paint we use so we don't use it all up before we're done kneading it. And put a little bit of black on your palette and follow the directions that I just showed you to make your own shade scale.